Thursday morning. Good morning. Medical Matters leading the news this morning. And 22 years after losing his sight, Chris James is learning to see again after being fitted with a bionic eye. It's the first such trial in the UK, but if successful, offers the chance for thousands of people who have lost their sight to regain a limited vision. Our health correspondent Thomas Moore's report contains close-up images of eye surgery.
Look up for me.
For more than 20 years, Chris James has been totally blind, his vision destroyed by the genetic disease retinitis pigmentosa. But for the first time in Britain, surgeons will implant a digital chip at the back of his eye that could enable him to see.
Can you see anything there?
Tests have confirmed that his retina, equivalent to the film in an old camera, is beyond repair, but the chip could bypass the damage, giving him a bionic eye.
All I can make out in my right eye now is light-dark perception. So if somebody put a light on in a room or I went outside, I can make the difference between light and dark, the contrast, but I can see nothing in my left eye, and I haven't had colour vision for some years.
Surgeons at Oxford's John Radcliffe Hospital fit the implant in a complex 8-hour operation. Up to 12 patients will be part of a pioneering trial here and at King's College Hospital in London. Accuracy is critical. If the chip is just a fraction out of place, Chris may not benefit. To get the most out of the chip, surgeons need to reach the sweet spot of Chris's retina, where images are sharpest and the nerves are most densely packed. But to get there, they need to thread a floppy cable between the layers of the eyeball. And the target is only the size of a pinhead. Images enter the eye as normal and are flipped and focused by the lens onto the chip, which is just 3 millimeters across and packed with 1,500 pixels. Each pixel converts the light falling onto it into electrical energy, which then stimulates nearby nerve cells. The impulses travel up the optic nerve to the brain, which will see a grainy black and white image.
So I'm going to just put another object in the middle of the table now.
Once he's recovered from the operation, Chris returns for the chip to be switched on.
Seems to be rounded, certainly on my right-hand side. Possibly a saucer or something like that.
It's proof the chip is working, but his brain is struggling to make sense of the images after being blind for so long.
The image that is perceived by the implant is fragmented. So if you imagine a circle might be perceived as 2 half circles or even 4 quadrants, perhaps even in different parts of his brain. He might see them in different parts of space. So what he has to do, what he has to learn to do, is his brain will learn to put those bits together into one single object.
2 weeks later, and Chris is making good progress.
I'm able just to make out an outline of it, but I wouldn't be able to tell you it was the shape of a ball.
In time, this is the kind of vision he might gain, fuzzy and as if he's looking through a small window. But for him, it means independence.
I've always had that thought in the back of my mind that one day I will be able to see again. This isn't a cure, but, you know, it might put the world into some perspective and some imagery for me, rather than just, you know, a black world.
Engineers at the company Retina Implant hope to improve the chip's resolution in future. There's every hope that patients will be able to live without a stick or a guide dog, and perhaps even recognise faces.